RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do?
So now, unfortunately, so as I mentioned before, now we're looking forward to another card. And truthfully, I actually like that there's one card a weekend because you can focus on one card a weekend. But this particular card, but considering how boxing has been going lately, especially with certain cancellations and stuff like that, this is almost like the de facto pay-per-view of the year,
it's a stat card.
It is, and something like this, it's like to me, it was like unfathomable. Like 2 years ago, when this whole shit with YouTubers fighting was a thing, I'm like, because I'm old school. I'm like, what the fuck is a YouTuber doing fighting in the ring? Like,
a YouTuber has the most stat card of the year.
Yeah.
Again, really, because remember, he was the co-main for the Andre fight, and that card was stacked like the motherfucker.
It was, and the funny thing is too, everyone left. Pretty much everyone damn near left after that Jake Paul fight.
Nah, they gave Andre the chance, but after the 5th round, that's when everybody was like, all right, I'm good, man. South Beach still open, right? Like, yeah, let's get some hoes on. Y'all niggas want something to eat? Like, all right.
And of course,
Andre was damn dropping dude all over the place.
Yeah, he was. I was thinking if Andre had gotten the first round knockout, that card would have been low key one of the best cards of that whole year.
Yeah, it ended up being like a B plus. No, not A minus.
Yeah, it was A minus because you saw, Tevin Farmer get upsetted, and then the bigger fights on there were actually pretty good. So
and Serrano got a fucking good KO. You had another upset. What's that nigga?
Akbadelia from Roma in the fight of the year. And
then you had another upset.
Yeah. So yeah, it was
the middleweight fight. Super middleweight. The dude that fought Benavidez not too long ago. Angulo.
Yeah, Angulo and Sims. Yeah, that was an upset. Although that wasn't really a great fight to watch, but it was an upset.
Yeah, it was another difficult fight.
And so now we have Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, and it's funny to me. I mean, obviously Jake Paul, he was on Triller for the last couple of his fights, and obviously they got all types of attention, especially because he knocked these cats out, or he knocked Nate cold, and then he put Askren out of there and won. So it's like, yeah, and then obviously dude has had 20 million subs, on YouTube, and then he managed to parlay that into a boxing career. There is something you can actually learn from what Jake Paul is doing. That boxers can apply themselves if they want to apply themselves to it. You know what I mean?
No, that's why they got promoters. Promote. Ain't that what they always say? I mean, do 500 subscribers.
But
I'm signed to a promoter.
People hate on Jake Paul, but I mean,
if you're signed to a promoter, they should be promoting you. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, but are we gonna let them do all the heavy lifting? If you got your own fan base and your own audience,
you got social media, you got your phone,
After the promoting job that Top Rank has done with Nico Ali Walsh, I don't want to hear shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one fucking fighter.
But it shows that they're able to. So no,
of course they're able to.
And of course,
but this is the thing. Nico Watts doesn't even have no damn popping audience or no social media like that. Nobody knows him unless fucking damn Top Rank damn bombards you with promotion for dude.
And that's exactly what. And the reason, obviously, I said it why is because Nico is the grandson of one of the greatest fighters and greatest people of all time. So and then someone who actually built Top Rank. So yeah, Bob is always going to be like,
dude is like paying. Like I could see Bob is like, do I agree with it? No, he went over the top with the fucking promotion, but I guess he's paying it forward. That still don't excuse dudes who fucking have 200K followers, 1 million followers, and they don't do nothing with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
exactly. And then also just to touch on that Nico Alex situation just a little bit, if you have go on the website and read my little parody, like it's all the jokes, but there's some truth into what I actually parody. The parody on there, like it's all. It ain't just like some shit out of my.
I don't know why both can't be right. Promoters could promote better, and fighters could promote better. Like
yeah.
It's not an either or shit.
Yeah, no, it's exactly. But in PBC, obviously, the promoters don't really promote that unless you're with Mayweather Promotions, and then you have Ellerbe who's facing.
It's not an either or, but I'm saying if I'm paying, if I'm signed to you as a promoter and your job is to promote, that's your job. A fighter's job is to fight.
A promoter usually just gets the fights. Look, a promoter is more like a facilitator.
A distribution deal, like
pretty much. Because look, people cry this promoter shit, but then they take garbage ass fights and still expect the promoter to fucking promote it like we're about to get goddamn Gotti Ward 3 or some shit.
I mean, I will say this though. I mean, because obviously, this is where Don King shined, because Don King, although Don King though he was selected, like Don King didn't like to promote bullshit. That's one thing that you say about Don King. If it's a good fight, Don will promote that shit to the moon. But
exactly.
if it was some old bullshit,
it made Top Rank look bad because we had Taylor Ramirez in the same year. Y'all got Ali's grandson, and which one deserved more promotion and which one got it?
Yeah, exactly.
So of course it looked bad.
Yeah, it looked bad. Yeah, Top Rank needs to get there. Like if you get someone in there who's hip that can talk to these fighters and let them promote. Like,
we seen what Triller was doing for Teofimo Lopez before the damn fight got postponed.
Right, and also
a lot of shit dudes could do on their own. Like,
yeah, especially with the Triller cards. I mean, especially when Tyson Jones, Jake Paul, Nate Robb, I think everyone knew what
Jack. Everybody was promoting that card. Like, what is stopping these? Look, if you got YouTubers collabing and IG comedians collabing for shit, what's stopping boxers from doing that?
Exactly. What's stopping, especially
exactly. Like a guy like Broner, if his head was on straight, like he promoted himself.
Exactly.
Agent Brown was one of the few examples of someone who actually was up on it early.
Really?
He was breaking laptops, throwing money,
flushing money down the toilet,
fucking bitches on camera, like he marketed himself like that's why he's still a draw to this day, because he used social media as a tool that obviously if you want to become a star, you can't rely on an 80-year-old white man.
Related to his generation, the younger generation. So I mean,
he had entertaining performances to fall back on, at least at the time. Because somebody's gonna be like, the Sean Porter fight wasn't entertaining. Mikey Garcia wasn't no barn burner. I'm like, look, nigga, like stop being so fucking technical.
Yeah, and then I'm just reading the comments. Dallas said, so now niggas is realizing what I said about these promoters are useless. Yeah, for the most part, they're not doing their jobs like they used to do. Like they're very selective. Like, I mean, as we mentioned before, like, I mean, it should be either or. Like, you either do it or you don't, but you don't just be on some half-stepping shit. Like P was saying, like you can't be, you can't put all this motion towards one cat who hasn't really accomplished much, and then ignore someone who's damn near who's top 3 pound for pound in their accomplishments, just because they probably not American or they're not the grandson of a legend or some shit like that.
But then you can't be on those spiteful. Well, if my promoter won't promote me, then I won't promote me.
Yeah, that's true.
And walk away from the stage like Jamie Foxx and Dreamgirls.
Facts, and that is the reason, folks, is why Jake Paul found a fucking lane into professional boxing. This is some of the bullshit. You allow Jake Paul to come in to get popping on Triller, and to now in his 4th fight he has a pay-per-view against a UFC fighter, a legend who has seen better days. People, you caused this shit, boxing. This is the shit you fucking caused, and boxing fans are looking forward to it. Because you guys can't get this shit together, nigga. This is the fucking reason why.
All the infighting and A side, B side, and this guy deserves this cut. No, this guy, fuck this guy, this, that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then a former Disney Channel star, trolling ass YouTuber, is now took your spot, and now boxers have to pretty much play nice and have to bow down to him because they realize they can get paid fucking with him.
And he's paying undercard. He's taking less out of his cut to pay the fucking undercard fighters a good share.
I'm saying, like boxing, like see, just saying this sounds crazy to us. Like it sounds crazy that we're saying this, and it's all facts, people. This is real shit. Like when this ain't no cap, like this is true. Like, and you allow him to be a player, and now, in God forbid, like if he knocks out Woodley, you know, which we'll get into, like he's a player. Like he's a player in boxing, whether we like it or not, because he's given the fans what they want. Not titles or anything like that. I think
depending on how he loses, if he loses to Woodley, I think he's there to stay.
Yeah, because like
Woodley has a shot. You looked at the odds, right?
Yeah.
They not marking this as no bullshit. Like they giving him a chance.
Yeah, and then so let's get to that fight. I mean, Woodley obviously Woodley's base is a wrestler, but he was a better striker. He's a better striker, definitely a lot better than Ben Askren was, for damn sure. So it's like, I mean, Woodley's taking it seriously. Like, I did like the all access. Like, I mean, Woodley's a down to earth cat. Like, you know, like, I mean, dude's training for real. But I think, I mean, obviously, my only misgivings too, and this is the same thing that I mentioned before for Askren, especially for Nate Robinson, is I want to see more sparring footage of him. Like, Jake Paul puts out sparring footage like there's nobody's business. He stays putting it out there, so we can at least get a good idea of how he's going to go. Whereas his opponents don't put out. I mean, no, Askren put out sparring footage, but you know, just off that already.
Dude put out a whole Rocket Ford montage.
Was that even sparring footage? That was trash.
Yeah, you know, but so that's what. Okay, yeah,
struggle footage.
But it was out there though. But then you know, I haven't seen it from Woodley. And like I said, Woodley, I mean, obviously, I mean, he's a higher profile. I mean, well, I wouldn't say higher profile in the UFC. Like, I mean, he was a champion there, but. The biggest thing for Woodley is he was getting beat up in his last couple of MMA fights.
Yeah, this past 4 or 5 fights, like he looked like he lost his that hunger, you know.
Yeah,
like,
he lost.
Like, I watched him in the UFC. Yeah, he got his fucking kid, like his lung broken.
Yeah,
busted up, knocked out 3-4 times.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the biggest thing is Woodley. And truthfully, that's why I was like, yeah. I mean, my prediction is like Woodley's gonna get taken out of there in 1, and I don't want to. I didn't want to believe that, but there's something about Woodley that's making me think that, you know, he might get cracked with some shit, and that might be it. You know what I'm saying? Though, but Woodley is game. Woodley is definitely game for this fight because Jake Paul. I mean, yeah, Jake Paul has not. I mean, if Jake Paul can be extended, because this fight is 8 rounds, and they're fighting at cruiserweight, and Jake Paul has not gone no more than past 2 rounds. So, I mean, there's still questions on whether or not what will he do if the fight is extended past maybe 4 rounds, gets to the 5 rounds, 6 rounds, shit like that. You know, and you know, there's always going to be accidents, but I think for the fact because Woodley took some losses in the end of his MMA career, that's why he's the betting underdog. LB, was he like 200 or something like that, or 300? I forget.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah. I mean, but from the other training videos that I saw from him, I mean, Woodley does seem to have a good base. I mean, he is training with some boxing cats, so it's not like, I mean, he does seem to have a really good base in terms of his boxing. Just to me, I just want to see some sparring footage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different with UFC, but I mean, you know, when it came to toe-to-toe stand-up, he was always one of the best. That was stylistically, that was his style. You know, he was more like a boxer in terms of, you know.
I mean, when you training someone to box and teach them how to box, I don't know. Me personally, I always want a guy who he doesn't have to necessarily be athletic, but if he has fighting instincts, say he got into a bunch of street fights or he has striking experience, I'll take that over athleticism any day. So it's like, I think it's like they grasp it quicker than a guy who, oh man, I could slam dunk, I could run a touchdown backwards or whatever the fuck.
Right. You know, so I mean, like I said, I mean, it's interesting in aspect, obviously, and then obviously, what's really selling this fight is the fact that Jake absolutely hates MMA to the point. Well, he doesn't hate MMA. He hates the fact that they're not getting paid properly, and he mentions that shit constantly in his
always going media. That Dana White. But yo, I got the bets up here.
Where?
Jake Paul is -200 and Tyron Woodley is +160.
Okay. So I think so. I've seen it higher. So 160. Okay, that's actually So I think they realized that he may not be the biggest underdog that they think. So that's
it's plus 185 for Woodley to win by KO, plus 1500 for him to win a decision. Jake Paul is plus 1000 to win a decision, and it's negative 175 for Jake Paul to win by KO.
Truthfully, I'd actually put something on a decision. You just never know. There's something.
How much on a decision?
Plus 1,000.
Oh, I might take that.
Yeah, honestly, that would be my boxing gambling degenerate self. That shit is tingling a little bit, bro.
You think it'll go that far? Think it'll go 8 rounds?
I said Woodley will be taken out in 1. I still believe that, but for some odd reason, plus 1,000 on a decision for Jake Paul with it could possibly be feasible. I'm gonna say plus.
Okay, look, it's plus 600 for Jake Paul in round 1. Nigga. Just to show you the difference in the odds for the Askren fight. It was plus 900 for Jake Paul in round 1.
Damn. And truthfully, I think, and you know what? Because what was feeling that because niggas was on that bullshit. Like, oh no, Askren is a real professional fighter. Even though people who actually seen him fight, is like, yo, he doesn't have hands. He's a wrestler. This is not an MMA fight. And that was a give me almost.
Yup.
Because it was like, oh, he's
perfect credibility. It was just no credibility. Like, well, he's a competitor.
Yeah, he got knocked out by a flying knee, and then he got knocked out, and he gets stopped with 1 punch.
But there's no knees in boxing.
Yeah, exactly, my nigga. So that's why I was like, people were being stupid because either they didn't want to admit that Jake Paul had enough hands to fight do with him, or Askren didn't have no hands. So it's like, but honestly, I mean, I to a decision, like if I was in my gambling stage, I'd put maybe 25 on the decision just in case, because you just never know. Technical decisions do.
I don't think that fight's gonna go that long, like 8 rounds.
Not nigga. I'm talking about technical decision. Any type of decision is, I mean, unless you say like, does it go the distance? It's at plus 1,000, or are they saying just the straight up decision?
It's by decision or technical decision.
So yeah, technical decision only needs to go 4 rounds. So I mean,
fight goes the distance is plus 550.
Damn. Them odds are kind of all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. Look, Woodley in round 1 is plus 1,000.
Like, dog, like, I mean,
and honestly, Woodley could surprise everybody and catch Jake Paul with something.
Yeah, no, and as I saying,
that's in the back of my head. Like, damn, Woodley has a legit shot.
Like, I feel like, I mean, initially I thought, okay, Jake Paul's gonna get him out of there in 2-3 rounds, right? How many rounds is this, Pat?
8. It's 8 rounds.
Okay. Yeah, I would think maybe 4 or something. Paul will get him out, but as the fight gets near and closer, it's like, is Woodley just out for a payday, or is he gonna try to actually protect?
That's another thing too. One thing that Tyron said was, this is the most he's ever gotten paid, and he's had a long MMA career. So that's fucked up shit to say.
Well, you have death row records when it comes to contracts.
And that's the reason why Jake Paul goes at Dana.
More like Motown records. Get that nigga a Cadillac, an ounce of Reggie, and say, "All right, you good."
And that is why Jake Paul goes at Dana so much, because Dana's bullshit is out on front seat, because it's a marketing point for Jake Paul, and it makes UFC look bad by proxy. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because now they all want to get down. Like now they see him as a payday. Like,
yeah, because look at boxing. As much as you can shit on boxing in the pay scale, there's boxers out there that are millionaires. There's boxers out there that are 100,000aires, and there's retired boxers who have decent careers afterwards, where they have their own gym.
Exactly.
UFC, not so much.
UFC
gotta be the movie. Niggas gotta find the Holy Grail, the Golden Fleece. Niggas gotta do all types of shit to have a career after UFC.
Because UFC guys, they can't even get sponsorships and shit.
Yeah, no, Dana controls all that shit. So it's like pretty much.
Look how they fucked over Rampage.
Yeah.
Can't get in no movies. Can't do a bunch of shit.
Rampage. In fact, too, Rampage did his thing in the A team, But then you have Georges St. Pierre, like he's in the Marvel flicks, or you have Randy Couture, like he was in the Expendables flicks and shit like that. Like a lot of these cats don't. And then of course Ronda Rousey.
And Zingano.
Yeah. And then of course, and then the MAGA bitch, Gina Carano, who fumbled her Disney bag because she couldn't stay off social media.
Yeah, she fumbled that bag. Yeah, she
buried herself with that one.
She's a dumbass. But yeah, it's just like MMA. Like Dana is like, I need to keep all my money in house. Like we'll float who we want up top to get paid. And it's swag. You have the heavyweight champion Ngannou out there talking about, yo, what is you doing? Like he's the heavyweight champion of the world. You got like, what the fuck is you doing? So it's like, it makes. So UFC's bullshit is out on front shit because Jake Paul is like, come fight me, you get paid and you good. And this is now this is why Woodley's doing it. So hopefully Woodley is not doing this just strictly for the money. Like he actually really wants, because whether he likes it or not, he's gonna have MMA on his back, because if he loses, then there's gonna be MMA and versus boxing debates. I think everyone has actually seen them before. They are horrible to read. Yeah. Or to even to talk, or to even.
They're like the old Pacquiao Floyd debates, but on steroids.
Here's the thing. He has MMA on his back, but not really, because even if he loses, then his MMA fans will make the excuse of, well, Woodley would kill him in a cage. These boxers will never step foot in the octagon.
No lies are told.
No lies are told. Yeah, that's all facts.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's what it's always gonna be. But I could whoop you in the. It's like beating a nigga ass. Like the dude is running his mouth. You pull up at his front yard. Like he should have the advantage. He walks outside and y'all talking, and then y'all start fighting, and then do this like, well, man, you should have fought me at my job. I'm used to the hard work. Then Yeah. Then it's like, well, you should have fought me after breakfast. I'd have had a good nutritious start for the day. There's always gonna be something with these motherfuckers.
Yeah, so what are we thinking, guys? I already said that I think Woodley will probably be taken out in one. LB, what about you?
Agreed. I think we're gonna have a scrappy ass round one, and it's just gonna end suddenly. If not, I don't see the fight going past 3 rounds. So all my degenerates out there, anything within the first 3 rounds, and you might be good.
I'm saying, like,
put a little something on Woodley, because I don't know, man. He's fighting above his head.
He really is. Ayo, Pilot, what about you?
I'm gonna say Jake Paul by knockout in round 3.
Okay. Well, you're gonna say, so you think it's gonna be extended into the third round for the first time? All right, cool.
Jake Paul says that himself, though. Like, he said he might be the fight for that.
Because I think it'll be his toughest fight, and this is his actual first. Not Ben Askren is a pure wrestler, whereas Tyron Woodley at least
is a high
brother, and he knows how to move, and he actually in his UFC career was a toe-to-toe stand-up kind of guy. So I think Cole will still get him, but it won't be as easy as Nate Robinson or Ben Askren.
Yeah, no, absolutely. P, what about you?
Same. Paul in 3.
Paul in 3. And Rome, what about you? I know definitely gotta get your opinion on this. What do you think about this whole fight, anyways?
I think Jake Paul keep making these fights because he knows he got money in it. So he's picking these fights because he know he gonna win and keep being able to get more fights. I don't think he'll choose Woodley if he knew this was gonna be it. Because once Jake Paul loses, he ain't getting another big purse. So this nigga's he's gonna keep picking fighters that are all right fighters, old niggas, whatever, niggas that's past their time, niggas that used to have a fan base. He might fight McGregor next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
He's just plan is for Tommy Fury though, because he put Tommy Fury on his card.
Yeah, and Tommy
Tyson Fury younger brother.
So. And Tyson
that was sell, bro. If that happens,
but that's a good point, Rome. For real, that's a good point.
But I feel like the only reason he chose this fight is because he know he's gonna win. So I got Jake Paul in round 2, nigga. Like these UFC fighters are not boxers. We gotta realize these shit. Like you can train your whole life, but y'all train differently. Y'all train to put a nigga on the ground and snatch him up. Can't snatch a nigga up in the ring.
Yeah, because that's the thing, like a lot of these MMA cats, and I've always said before, like the hands, like there's only a few that the ones that had boxing as their base. You know, like Holly Holm was probably the best example of that because boxing is her main base because she was a kickboxer. You know, and then and she probably put on the best display of actual boxing I've actually seen in an MMA ring.
Facts.
Yeah, so
you know what it is? You gotta.
But she's like a kickboxer
first.
though. She was like a kickboxer.
Yeah, but she was also a champion.
She was a real boxer too. Yeah, she was kickboxing too.
Yeah, no, she
put on like 2 different sports.
Because I hate the MMA fans would be like, well, Holly Holm was a kickboxer. Like, no, but she boxed. Like,
I didn't know she was a real boxer. I just knew her style was kickboxing.
Yeah, no,
she was a real boxer.
And she won a belt too.
Yeah, she was an actual champion and
just because she ended the fight with Rousey with a kick, that's that's kickboxing.
Yeah, but it was boxing that had Rousey like
exactly.
The fucking jabs that y'all niggas only recognize certain people throw for some reason.
Word.
The jabs that did it.
Yeah, so it's like MMA those debates will always happen, but yeah, like I said, Woodley, if he won, I'll be like, great, that it'll be hilarious because I'm all about the fuckery. But yeah, for some reason, I just don't see it because Woodley, I think it might be too much for him at this point, and I think Paul might get him at this one. And I hate saying that.
Logan Paul said it'd be a first round knockout for Jake Paul. That's his brother, but
yeah, but look at all the niggas he's picking. He fought an NBA player and 2 retired UFC fighters, nigga. What the fuck is this nigga doing?
Nate Robinson he didn't pick Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson picked him. Nate Robinson ran his mouth, and that's what got his ass whooped.
Oh, okay. Well, he accepted it for a reason, though.
Because he took it because oh shit, nigga, I watch boxing.
Hey, look, I robe.
Like he ain't gonna grab Tyson. He ain't gonna grab Mike Tyson. He ain't gonna grab Pacquiao and be like, "Yo, nigga, you trying to make some money?" Nah, he not gonna do that because he know that's a wrap. That's a wrap for all his YouTube shit. He's not gonna grab a boxer. Watch the next
Tommy Fury fight.
No, the next person he gonna fight is a retired NASCAR driver. Nigga used to beat his wife and some shit.
No, so
hold on. So look, let me ask you this. So you mean to tell me if a motherfucker who got nothing to do with you call you out and he's talking bad shit, you don't take the challenge? So if a motherfucker who play golf and says, you know what, Rome, fuck your top 5, nigga, I got a verse for you and I beat you 1-on-1 in basketball, are you supposed to say, nah, nigga, I don't want people to say I'm garbage for accepting this challenge? Or you go just slam dunk on this nigga?
We talking about combat sports though. We talking about retired niggas who have CTE chilling at home, and then they get a call to switch their sport that they've been practicing their whole life. And be like, yo, you want to train for 6 weeks and get knocked out in a round? I'll give you 500 racks. Like, sure, nigga, why not?
It's the pride, though. It's the pride.
It's not about pride. I bet you Jake Paul calling with all types of respect. Hey, guys, how you doing? I just wanted to get in contact. I'm trying to keep this thing going. I know you probably seen my videos on YouTube and shit. We're trying to get this thing to go really viral this time. So
all his fights always promote the next one after. Remember, he was beefing with Woodley when the Askren fight was being done.
He was. Yeah, he definitely was.
And remember, once the Woodley fight got done, he started beefing with Tyson Fury and Tommy Fury.
Yeah,
he was beefing with McGregor too. So what happened?
Yeah, well, McGregor
lost.
yeah, McGregor lost. That's the because he even said too. Yeah, he lost. Why would I want to fight him after that?
Well, not only lost, he also broke his leg. So
yeah, he broke his leg.
That's true.
So Woodley, who he was beefing with was next, and then even now, like I said, like LB saying, like, he's beefing with other cats like Tyson Fury and Tommy Fury, his brother. Tommy Fury is on his card right now because they're trying to set that shit up. And then that's a good segue into the undercard. Like the undercard is interesting because a lot of these undercards actually do have some sort of story to tell, and Tommy Fury's on there too. He's fighting Anthony Taylor, who let's say he has a shitty record, but this is a showcase fight for him because you got Tommy Fury. I think this is his first fight in America, so they want to see what he can actually do.
Tommy Fury just went the distance in his last fight, which was supposed to be a showcase fight.
That's also true, and but at least it was against someone who was undefeated. This guy,
Does this guy kind of suck? I mean, does Little Fury is pretty he's pretty trash. He's not that good.
He's decent. He's just a big fuck, but
Okay.
he's solid. Like he look like he don't do nothing but lift weights.
Yeah.
Work shoulders.
He looks like a
Dude is ripped. Like I mean, people he's like super ripped though, and
he's decent though. But at least he's a real boxer. It's like Rome said. It's like Tommy Fury would literally be Jake Paul's best future opponent because he come from a boxing family. And he just pure boxing. It just the thing is he be on some pretty boy shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so that's what makes it. Obviously, if Fury gets upset, obviously, and then Fury that fight is gone. So that's the story for that damn fight.
Yeah.
And then also on that card you have Daniel Dubois. Of course, coming back, his second fight coming back after getting his eye broke by a jab. By another, perfect example of someone, who knows how to utilize the jab as a weapon by Joe Joyce, Juggernaut. And then he's facing, and basically it's set up for him to try to, to get some attention, especially in America, because it's also his first fight in America against Joe Cusmano, who is 19-3 but has 17 knockouts. So I mean, he's dangerous. He's dangerous, yeah. He's never been knocked out either. So obviously he'll either knock this dude out or he'll get knocked out. And obviously, if Kuzma, of course, if Dubois gets knocked out by this guy, it's maybe over.
So at least we got two knockouts, heavyweights or light heavyweight, because Tommy Fury's like light heavyweight.
Yeah, he's like light heavyweight cruiser. So I mean, that's why they could probably make that Jake Paul fight if he wins, because they'll probably make him put on the light heavyweight for this shit.
They got the ball on here too, huh?
Yeah,
Dubois on there too, and then probably either second or third best fight of the night. They have Ivan Baranchyk. Ivan Baranchyk, of course, had some big notoriety, involved in one of the most ridiculous brawls you've ever seen in the
probably the fight of the millennium last year.
Fight of the decade.
Yeah, against Jose Cepeda. 8 knockdowns in 5 rounds. Good lord, it was an absolute war. Baranchyk was on a mission, and if you've ever seen Baranchyk fight, like, dude is balls to the wall. Like, he's an extremely dangerous guy. But I think this one is just more or less Cepeda had to rise to the occasion and knocked him cold in an absolutely brutal knockout.
Rolls off the canvas to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly. He did it 4 times. So, and this is his first fight since that fight, and he'll be facing Montana Love, who is another who's a tough guy from Cleveland. 15-0, 1 draw, 7 knockouts. Dude is, like I said, dude is up there. Dude, I don't know if we want to call him a prospect, because he's not. He's definitely not a prospect.
He's a contender. Might be fringe, but that's a good quality fight for an undercard.
Yeah, and then because if Montana Love is the goods, he'll see if he can handle someone like Baranchyk. Baranchyk will make you fight. That's the problem. Baranchyk is not a guy you can't take him lightly.
And that's the thing. Baranchyk is all the way back from that fight from last year. Montana Love is a good enough test to show that, look, okay, I could deal with the guys above his level. Like, here, let me handle this guy. So
yeah, and like I said, Baranchyk, he has quality. Yeah, and Baranchyk has quality wins. I mean, he does have the win over Abel Ramos, Petrov, former world champion. He was an actual champion. He won it in the Super Series against Anthony Yigit, and then he lost it to Taylor in
another good fight,
in a firefight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so you get what we're saying. Like, Jake Paul is setting up a solid ass fucking undercard. Like, I want to see each one of these fights. Each one is meaningful, significant.
Yeah, and then also too in the co-main we have Amanda Serrano, who we've talked about all the time. Like, Amanda Serrano obviously is one of those. She might actually be one of the top women fighters like now. Like, she or might be.
Probably. What do you mean she is?
No, she is. I mean, she's definitely top 2, top 3, definitely to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And she doesn't get half the attention like some others that they get, because she's unfortunately she doesn't. I mean, because I guess in terms of promoters or whatever, Top Rank doesn't really fuck with her like that, and then Eddie is she has like a love-hate relationship with him, so she's pretty independent. So
Ring City did right by her. I'll say that.
Yeah, Ring City definitely did, putting her on there.
And they promoted the hell out of her in her fight. If you follow them on social media, so shout outs Ring City. You know, you don't have to have the biggest budget to promote something.
Absolutely.
Ring City needs to come back. I mean, I miss those random midweek cards that they were doing, man.
On a Thursday.
Yeah, random midweek fades because there
were some good cards. They were pushing the fighters. The commentary wasn't biased. Like I think Porter was on a few. I think calling too, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he was almost on damn near all of them calling.
I think Superbad was on one, right?
Yeah.
Is that shit gonna come back? I'm just wondering. Do y'all know?
They said it was. So. I mean, we like they follow us. We follow them. They follow us. So I know they've been saying like that. I mean, let's say it might just be a budget thing too, because I know. For Ring City, like obviously NBC Sports is going to be no more after this year, so they might be moving to a different NBC platform or whatever. So I think they're probably figuring out some shit with that.
All you guys that want to get into boxing, I'm talking about you millionaire motherfuckers that just don't know what to do with your money, but you like boxing. Invest in the companies like that. Like you don't have to start your own. Just try to make a deal where like, look, I got a few guys and I could put this type of money in there and see what happens, because everybody keeps trying to remake the wheel and sooner or later it fizzles out, or we're in a place where like Triller is, where it don't know where the fuck is going.
Well, I mean, Triller tried, but then Triller tried to do too much.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if they fucking teamed up with somebody else that knew what they was doing, instead of just kind of try everything and see what it works type shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because like I mentioned before, like the promoter they work with for the Tyson Jones card, that's my boy. Like my boy is their matchmaker over there, and that's the reason why it worked, because between that and they work with the same production team that did the HBO cards, so that's why that whole shit came together like Voltron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
it was the pinnacle of their production, really.
Yeah, but Triller tried to deviate from a formula that worked, and then they did too much. Unfortunately,
they started raising up the prices and random niggas commentating like.
They should like Teofimo, man. This that whole year disappointment. I feel like he should have just fought the same week. He should have just fought the same week as Floyd, because now like he just wasted the whole year.
And Triller out like $5 million, and now we have to wait for him to see if Triller's gonna host. And now I think they gotta host a shit in the Middle East, which apparently Teofimo and team are on board for. They actually, for whatever reason,
they just wanted to get the fight done by now. They would have been on a fucking aircraft carrier in international waters at this point.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's also a good explosion for Teofimo, I guess, to go out there and get that Arab money. Shit, why not?
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just like Triller did too much, and then it's a whole bunch of other fuckery. It wasn't just Triller, but yeah, it's just one of those things that it unfortunately, like their formula kind of got, they changed it and they tried too much, and now they're running into the shit that other promoters have.
Gotta balance the fuckery to get the perfect formula.
Right. So, but at least now, Ring City. So Ring City was actually, like I said, that was what was needed for boxing, and then also, like I said, giving someone like Serrano a chance, who'll be defending her belts against Mercado in there, like in the main event. 18-2 with 5 knockouts. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a Mexican versus Puerto Rican fight. Mercado's Mexican, so you know how that always goes.
She's minus 2,000 and her opponent's plus 900, so you know who's the favorite.
Yeah,
that Baranchek odds is the one though. Like he negative 230, Love is plus 175, so they know something could happen in that shit. It's a competitive fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually it's cool. So and then obviously they have the main event. So yeah, I mean, just by default, like this pay-per-view is probably the most anticipated one of the year, and it's pretty evenly matched in terms of its match. Well, co-main not as much. I'm not, but the co-main is its exposure at least.
Yeah, because Serrano's the only pound for pound fighter on that card, though.
Facts, pure facts.
Is Amanda Serrano the co-main then? That's confirmed?
Yeah.
She's the co-main.
Okay, she should be. I saw the initial weigh-in or whatever. Not the weigh-in, but when the press conference is the woman she's fighting. Is she pretty good? You guys seen her?
I don't remember seeing because she hasn't fought in a lot of American cards. If at all. So
we'd have to do some research, but she's a champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good. So I mean, let's say if anything, it'll be an entertaining scrap because Serrano can punch for I don't know if you say, oh no, most women fighters can't punch. They can, and Serrano can certainly punch. She has a high knockout KO ratio. So yeah, I mean, and she hasn't lost in damn near forever in the box.
She's badass. Like her fights are entertaining. When female fights for the most part, sometimes they're hit or miss, to be honest. But yeah, she be getting it in.
Yeah,
all her fights be hits. Them punches be hits.
Yeah, she gets them out of there. Like if you go a distance, that means that your skills are up there. But yeah, she'll get you out of there within 2 minutes, within a 2-minute round. Oh man, so it should be a good card. It's on pay-per-view. I forgot how much Showtime is offering for. I think it might be 54 or 64. I forget.
Damn, so they brought the time machine out for the prices this time. Okay. Y'all niggas is bringing me damn Guerrero and Victor Ortiz. Y'all may as well go back to 95 and give us the pay-per-view price for that motherfucker. Shit, y'all want to go back in time? Shit.
Yeah, no,
but I hope it's a success. Jake Paul doing a good thing, and when people trying to do a good thing, I feel like they should get the support. And so I'm always want to champion people who's trying to do the good thing and helping others, and that's what boxing's about. At the end of the day, we all boxing fans. So if boxing gets bigger because of this shit, hey, that's great.
Nope, here's the cost. It's $59.99. There we go.
Oh, okay. I'm so used to hearing $75.99.
Yeah, that's smart.
$99.
That's actually smart because it's like like $75, $80. You know what I mean? Like giving it a little, making it $59.99 sounds a little easier for casual.
Yeah. So if anything, hopefully we do get some entertainment out of this card. And because I know LB, doesn't like his mid-fight weekends.
These back-to-back mid-fight weekends, like. Give me a whole card that I can enjoy top to bottom. Is it too hard to ask for? Like really, like we get those every now and then, but for some reason we've had a stretch of just
Yeah, and that's what I'm just reading what Dallas just said. All these promoters do is sit back and collect money to block good fights that we actually want to see, and they provide us with mid-ass fights and try to promote them into great ones.
Straight up.
And then people ain't dumb; they see through the bullshit, which is the reason why boxing ain't that popular anymore. Nothing but facts. Like
that's gospel, man. Facts, straight up.
But they don't even promote the mid-ass fights.
Oh man, so boxing has a lot to do to correct itself, especially coming. I know, they've had damn near a year now to come out of, to get the shit together from COVID, from coming up from the pandemic. So yeah, they got some more work to do,